Okay, we are asked to graph the tangent of x over 2 plus 1, and we have all this stuff to consider. There really isn't a range to talk about for tangent. The range is all real values. The amplitude, there's not a number in front of tan, so there's not really anything to talk about for amplitude. But period, so we'll start with talking about the period. The period for all tangent functions is just pi divided by whatever number is in front of x. In this case, 1/2. Okay, so period is pi over b, where b is the value in front of your variable. So for this one, tangent has a period of 2 pi. Okay, which is twice its normal period of regular pi. So it only takes tangent pi units or pi radians to make one entire graph. Okay, to get all of the values possible for tangent only takes pi radians. Okay, there's no phase shift, and the vertical shift is we've moved all this stuff up 1. Okay, vertical shift comes from right here, the number after your parentheses. So let's put that on there. That's an important piece, up 1. So this is going to be your adjunct x-axis now, where we will do all of our intercepts, and all your zeros basically will come from that line. So what we want to do is we want to first put this on your graph. So we'll put a 2 pi right there, and then we'll put a negative 2 pi over here. Okay, unless your graph is already marked, you can use whatever markings you want to use. And if you're doing this for your teacher, make sure that you are labeling whatever markings they happen to be. Okay, so tangent goes through the origin. Okay, the tangent of 0 is 0. So in other words, the origin is now right here. Sorry, I'm going to erase this point. Okay, the origin is now where the midline crosses the x-axis, the y-axis. And what do I know? I know that tangent has a period of 2 pi. So what I want to do is I want to put an asymptote halfway between 0 and 2 pi. Okay, this is what you always do for tangent, because its period goes from here to here. This is the 2 pi we're talking about for tangent. Okay, from one asymptote to the other asymptote. And because tangent starts on the y-axis, you have to go, well, half of it to the right and half of it to the left. So always when we put our tick marks on here for 2 pi, we're going to do half in order to get where your asymptotes are. Okay, so there's another one in between 2 pi and 4 pi, and it would have another 0 here, and it would have another 0 here, and it would have another 0. So 0 at all the products of 2 pi's. So the graph of tangents, we should know, starts on the left side of the asymptote and proceeds through the 0 and goes out the right side of the asymptote. So all tangents start on the left asymptote, and they proceed through the 0 and go out the right asymptote. Okay, so the hardest part is probably figuring out where your asymptotes are, but once you get them in there, the graph of the tangent should be pretty easy to do.